Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm one of your hosts, Brian. I'm joined by my other host,
Karen.
This is a spinoff of our main podcast where we ramble way too much. However, for this podcast, we are trying to, or for this sort of series, it's not a podcast.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
So not a podcast, just a little quick video. Anywho, again, you see me ramble.
The ramble,
way too
yeah,
much.
yeah. How's this rambling going?
We pick a topic, we talk about it for 6 minutes and 66 seconds. Today we're going to start I think this is going to be the first one we post. It might not be. If it isn't, whatever, it is what it is. This is a part of a new-ish sub-series or a series. It's a sub-series of this series.
Yeah, because this is already a sub-series or sub-thing.
Yeah.
And now we're doing a series of that sub-thing.
Point is, we're going to talk about each of our concert posters we have framed, and we're going to do that in 6 minutes and 66 seconds for each poster. And we're going to start with Chicago Open Air 2017. The second open air we went to, we have a whole 3 episodes on all 3 years we went to open air. You can find those. If you're listening, we'll put a link somewhere, someplace. Maybe we'll figure out if we can do that. Anywho, let's start the timer and just sort of dive into it. And start now. So, this poster, I like this poster a lot. It's Chicago Open Air on the top. The purple and gold is a skeleton on a bike smoking, I'm assuming, a joint. I don't know. I like the composition of this poster. I like the way this poster looks, the imagery. I don't know what your thoughts are.
No, it's very metalish, I guess, in a way. For the theme of open air.
Kind of bikery too.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the biker in there or whatever. But I feel like going to metal concerts, there's a lot of biker looking people there as well. Yeah. So, I mean, Zakk Wylde,
right? It's like a biker band.
Yeah, almost. I learned that.
You did learn that, yeah. And also, Zakk Wylde was at this particular show because Ozzy was one of the headliners.
Yeah, yes. And Zakk Wylde played with Ozzy while they were there. Yeah. So what I like about this is they tied in Chicago to it as well. Do you know where?
In the patches. Yes. On the vest, right?
Yeah. So
like you have 312.
312, yeah. So 312 is like the area code. Well, I think there's more area codes now of Chicago, but for the longest time there was only one area code and it was 312.
312 is just known as like for Chicago. Like Goose Island 312 beer is 312 for Chicago.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I think I've heard people say there's other area codes now, but I could be wrong on that. I mean, we don't even have a Chicago phone number, so I don't know.
Yeah, I like the purple and black, like I said. The grays, like the vest looks really cool.
Yeah, the texture in it is very, very good.
And then just the hint of gold is really cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember when we went to get this framed. It was one of the first few ones. Yeah. Not the first grouping, but maybe like the second group we got framed.
The gold second mat I remember doing.
I think this was the first time doing a double mat, too. Yeah. And
well, I think because we did this one with Metallica S&M as well, I think. And so both of those have double mats.
No.
Oh, okay.
S&M was the first grouping with Riot Fest and Disturbed.
Okay.
This was, I think, the next group because we did this and the other open air that we're going to talk about later.
Sure. I don't know. It doesn't really matter when we got that. But I don't think this is the first one with the double mat, though.
I can't remember. I think it is, but it doesn't matter also. Up to this point, we really didn't do a whole lot with double mats. It was a single mat. And I can't remember what I wanted to do for the main mat. I don't think I wanted black. I think I wanted like a purple to go along with it.
Yeah.
Which I think looked cool, if I remember right, when we got this done. But then the people at Four-Sided were like, well, how about we try a hint of gold to tie in the gold aspect? And it's also a little textured, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love the gold.
Yeah, it really makes it pop. Yeah, like the pop of gold on the mat really pops the gold in the photo as well, or in the poster.
It does, yeah. This is one of the ones I just stand at and look, and it's honestly the gold in it, that little subtle gold, and it's sort of a textured. I love this one. It's so good.
But this was the first concert poster we ever bought.
It was, yeah. This was the very first one that sort of started us.
That's how I thought you were going to start this.
Oh, I guess I always forget about that. I do remember being the first.
Yeah.
Also next to like that 312 is the artist name, which I can't read that well. Or maybe I don't know What
is it?
Dipple 17.
That's kind of cool though, like how it's right on the side or whatever.
And
the patch.
I was taking the photos for this, and I had no idea that was there until taking the photos for this.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I noticed it before that either.
This is number 38 of 300. There are only 300. We got this the first night because we left Kiss, and I was like, I'll pick one up at that point in time.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about it.
Yeah, we talked about that in the podcast about 2016 open air or 2017 open air. Sorry, there was no poster for 2016 open air.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
Yeah, that we saw anyways. Maybe they sold out early in the day.
They did. I've also like looked online to see like if you can buy something,
and you don't see it.
I can't find anything. Okay. But that doesn't mean they don't exist.
Yeah,
it just means they're not for sale.
But yeah, so we left Kiss early. I mean, you could still hear it, and it was like the last couple songs. Yeah. It wasn't like we left right away or whatever. And we got one because we didn't want to carry it around all day.
I don't know. I love this. Like like I said, the composition's so awesome. The Chicago open air at the top. The sort of the waves of purple and black behind the skeleton and the bike do kind of remind me of Zach's guitar that he plays with. He does sort of the black and white sort of hypnotic look to it, and that kind of reminds me of it. So like there's that tie-in. We already mentioned the motorcycle aspect, which once again Zach Wild. I think when I think of it, I think of those two together.
So you think this was designed with Zach Wild in mind?
Not necessarily. I just when I see
you just keep bringing it back to that.
When I see it, I instantly think of like Zach. Like I like, oh, this is I can see this. You know, it just brings back memories to me. Like, that's the first thing I think of.
Okay. I don't know why they chose purple.
Do you not like that?
I don't know. I'm like looking at it now, and I'm like, it's not one. You said that you look at it all the time, and it's not one I ever look at. It does not catch my eye at all. And I don't know what about it doesn't catch my eye, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like not one of my favorites.
The skeleton aspect, like to me, skeletons and skulls are definitely metal.
Yeah. No, the artistry is really good, but it's not like something that like catches my eye where I'm like, oh, let me like look at this, like I do with like the Metallica ones and stuff.
Yeah, and I am really fond of this particular concert, even though when we talked about it on the concert episode, I went in thinking, God, this is going to be a shitty concert festival, and for various reasons, but like walking out, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah, and before we started recording, we were talking like we can't remember why we chose this frame. But part of it is, I think it was something to do with the lines on the jacket and stuff. And you thought it was like there's a line in there that kind of looks like bones.
Yeah, the one closest to the glass is sort of like, it kind of looks like leg bones or like bones to me, like finger bones maybe. And there's other ridges and whatnot. I like the texture. I'm glad we went with something textured than just straight up black. But it is very subtle. I don't necessarily look at the time it definitely made sense. Like we convinced ourselves why we did this.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I like how it looks. It does fit the image really well, I think. But what aspects did we go with? The beard? Did we go with the jacket, the waves, or the skeleton?
Like what happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I don't remember that conversation.
But I do love this one a lot. I love how it came out, and honestly, it's that touch of gold that really puts it over the top for me.
That's
like
good.
Just ties everything else into it.
Yeah, I might think of it. We're at 666 now, but I might think of it a little different now when I walk by, just by you saying like the gold or whatever. But it's before this, like it's just hanging on our wall.
Yeah. Anyway, that's this poster. Like I said, we did an episode on this particular concert as well.
Yep. I think it's going to be episode 2 of that little series of
open
air.
Yeah, it should be number 2.
Yeah. I don't know what episode number that is, but
next week for the 666 episode, or the next 666 episode that will be published, will be for the 2019 open air.
Yep. Because
we're going to release all of this as like one chunk. Typically, I don't think we're going to do poster in terms of 666, but keep an eye out. We've got a lot of other posters we have framed, a lot more that still need framed. Check it out. If you enjoyed this, we'll see you around.
Bye.